Baseball, not always the best team wins, right? You got to still go out there and get it done.
Into the press box. We are live from the Red Earth Production Studios here in beautiful St. Charles, Missouri. It's a beautiful day today. Very nice. Enjoyed that and wanted to welcome you into the show. We had a great press box at Platte County High School. Shout out to Coach Sipes and the Platte County folks. Oh, gosh, I'm forgetting his name. Athletic director. Gabe. Gabe was his first name. That's horrible. Let's look that up, Lauren, because we want to give some kudos. Fantastic hospitality. Really enjoyed it. Great venue. Beautiful park. Heck of a baseball game. Platte County. Gabe Middleton, the gentleman, was great. Appreciate everything and allowing us, come out and do what we do. It was a lot of fun. We had a good week last week, didn't we, guys? We did. We had a good week. Even though it was a little precarious with the rain, we missed one. Yeah, we got in our Tuesday game. We're in Liberty, or at Lee's Summit. Liberty North visiting Lee's Summit, 14-10. That was a dandy. Got over to getting there. Rockwood Summit. Lauren's like, let's go. For the Marquette Mustangs. Enjoyed that game. That was a little warmer day, though. It was nice, a little warmer. We had a little accident with the windage, but we recovered. And shout out to Mason Molitor working with us as an intern this spring. Liberty High School. Hopefully we'll get him here maybe in the press box. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But he's going to be calling some more games with us around the area. So appreciate Mason. He did a great job. If you watched the Rockwood Summit Marquette Mustangs game, that was Mason calling that game. Did a great job. So we're looking forward to those things. Also, wanted to make sure everybody knows that tonight's press box is built by KiloGear. And so you may be asking, what is KiloGear? Well, this is KiloGear. Yeah, right there. See that? Yeah. Microweights, yeah. Wearing it. It's a revolutionary weighted apparel design to enhance your performance in daily activities, workouts, and sports. KiloGear helps you burn more calories, build strength, and improve endurance effortlessly. Whether you're at the gym or on the go, I'm on the go. I don't have time to get to the gym. Go to kilogear.com. Find the apparel that is right for you and use the promo code YBM10 to get 10% off your purchase and start building your performance. We appreciate KiloGear. I'm wearing it. I've been wearing it pretty much every day. We go and we're working, we're doing. It's fantastic. I feel the difference. And so you will too. Go check it out. You want to follow us on our social media, X at uppercase YBM _lowercase cast. IG, FB, and TikTok is a little more simple. At Youth Baseball Midwest, all lowercase. Want to start with a shout out. We met a young man by the name of Vincent Hausman. He graduated in 24. We met him at the state championships. It was last year, wasn't it, Drew? Yeah, last year. when Blue Springs South won the state title. And he was there taking pictures for the school and this and that. And he's been talking with Drew back and forth. Common, artistry, pictures, photos, doing the thing, doing the gig. And, he's been sending us some shots this season from different work that he's done throughout the season. This is from Lee Summit West and Blue Springs South game. So Drew put together a video of the shots that he's taken, the photos, and we wanted to share that with you. So go ahead and roll the tape, Drew.
It's a movie, red carpet, the lights going through me. Anytime I arrive, it's the new me. Real diamonds on my neck, that's groupies. Flashing lights, all these things come to me. Dressed in price, all my rings got weight to it. You feel that? You feel that?
So if you want to follow Vincent Houseman, you can do that. His socials are IG at Swayze Shot It. Swayze Shot It. Don't want to mess with that too much. And TikTok at Swayze Vince. Cool stuff. We'll get some more of his stuff, and we'll keep you up to date. I think that's great. Fantastic. Shout out to Vince. Appreciate it, man. That's good stuff. So, always fun to bring different things on the show and talk about what's going on out there. Also, this year we have a new partner. We talked a little bit about this, but we partnered with Dinger Bats, and we're going to be doing some more things with them as well. But first and foremost, we've been doing our top award, our Tournament Outstanding Player, and our Player of the Game at Game 7 tournaments now for, what is this, 4th year, guys? Yeah, 5th year. It's 5 years. I believe so. You know what? It all runs together. It's something like that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 2021. Yep, when we start. Yeah. So, and we've always kind of done some awards. Well, Dinger Bats is coming on and working with us this year as our presenting sponsor for our Tournament Outstanding Player and our Player of the Game awards at the championship of the 14U at the Super 7 series with Game 7 baseball. We've already had one. We got the next one coming up down at Ballparks of America, the Spring Ring Classic, and we're going to be giving out some batting gloves. So shout out to Dinger Bats and Carl Lang working with us there. We got some more stuff coming. If you want to check out Dinger Bats, go to dingerbats.com. Look at the great stuff. You can see they got batting gloves, the gear, of course, the wood bats, professional grade, man. You can see the athletes they sponsor or they provide bats to. I think he even said, Carl said Matt Holliday swung Dinger Bats for a while. I didn't know that. There you go. So they've been around a while getting it done. So dingerbats.com, guys. Go do that. Our youth baseball segment is powered by Game 7 Baseball. Game7baseball.com. You know what? It's that time. 2 weekends, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. Like I said, we're going to be at Ballparks of America for the Spring Ring Classic. We were there last year for, I think it was the Armed Forces Day Classic. Had a great deal of fun on the Saturday. Right there, all the kids happening. We got some cool stuff. New partner with our club, Bob Evans Restaurants, 7 locations. If you're a club member, you got some discounts there. Join the YBM club, get involved in it. Gotta love that. But they're gonna be there doing some giveaways as well. So I'm excited for that with the Bob Evans. And we've got some more stuff. We'll keep you up to date on that. But we're going to do our giveaways, our trivia. We'll be there for with our baseball cards. We got our new wristbands out. We're going to be doing that. 14U live streaming the championship. Now, that will be at the Recplex the next day. We missed that last year because we got rained out. And so that was kind of a bummer. But, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And we got our championship ticker down there presented by Legacy Performance Academy. Youth baseball, Legacy Performance, as you can see right there. They got their high school Legacy baseball, then the clutch. They got their youth baseball program headed by Josh Crannerwetter. Mike Ott over there and those guys, they do a great job. We did a Saturday. We did a youth baseball health check with LPA, and go watch that. That was, I will say this, we did 4 of those. It wasn't 4, right, Drew? Yeah, it was 4. We did 4 health checks throughout the season with different clubs: Midland, Rawlings, LPA. Who was the other one? Oh, RBC. Everybody was very honest up front. Nobody had really any trouble talking, sharing, and being upfront about things and how it goes. So I was really appreciative of that. And I think that shows a lot of character. As much as we get, everybody's like bad rapping and this and that, there was a lot of good conversation. If you get a chance, go back and listen to these men talk about what's going on in club baseball. I hope to get the Gators. We didn't get the Gators this year, did we? We'll do it next year. We'll get Chris Craddock. We talked about it. Didn't quite get there, but we'll do that next year. There's plenty of clubs out there, right? Plenty of them. It's always good to go around. But the championship ticker going on down there, LPA, go ahead and go to their website. If you're looking for a club, if you're looking for, you've got a youth player and you're interested, hey, Legacy Performance Academy, they do a lot of good things. And so see if it's the right fit for you. That's the only thing. That's what we say about it. We appreciate them being partnered with Youth Baseball Midwest, and they are partnered with us for the entire Game 7 baseball season, and we sure do appreciate it working with them. All right. The Masters, Game 7 baseball, Masters is back. They probably gave away some kind of green sweatshirt or something. I don't know if they did that, if they still do that or not. Was it a green ring? Yeah, I think you're right, Drew. But the Masters in Warrenton at the Whack. We got some helmet stickers to give away because I think we got some pretty cool stuff that I want to go through. For the simple fact that we want to give some love to these youth teams, and there's this one here. This is a full team. This was the 13U Mo Gators, Coach Wilson's squad. Won the championship there for the Masters. In the championship game, they did well offensively. We'll just put it that way. 17 at-bats. Okay, just 17 ABs. 14 runs scored. 10 hits. 12 RBI. 5 base on balls. Only 1 strikeout. That's pretty solid. I'll take that. Drew, go ahead and drop it on him, bro. Gotta love the helmet stickers. Helmet sticker for the entire team. That's an offensive performance. Hey, Lauren, would you do me a favor? Would you grab my phone over there? I want to make sure I check a couple things here. Also, a group from Illinois. A little different. Thank you, Lauren. Lauren's, hey, if you're watching, she's working the socials over there, pushing stuff out on X on X and keeping up to date there. So make sure you following us on X. I love it. Okay. Forsyth Fire. When I first saw Forsyth, I thought, oh, Missouri, why not? No. Forsyth, Illinois. You know where that's at, right, Drew? I don't. Huh? Oh, Marora Forest. Duh. We're going to be up at Marora. Forsyth. That's hard to say. They're going to be playing Eureka. We're going up to live stream a ball game up there. Looking forward to that. And their 12U squad is 5-0 right now. Okay, 5-0. They won the championship game, scoring 12 runs on 7 hits, 8 ribbies, 2 Ks, only 2 Ks. I like that. When you got a 12U team that's only striking out twice or one, even a 13U striking out one time, swinging the bats well, seeing the baseball well. Gotta love it. So a Forsyth Fire, this one is for you. Gotta love the helmet stickers. Okay. You know, we need to do this. I got to figure this out. We're going to have to put up some helmet stickers on the website with these teams' logos. Yeah, baby. I'm pumped up about that. I just thought of that right now, folks. Oh, yeah. All right. Here's a good one. The folks over at Fulton. The Fulton Sting, this feeder team for the Fulton Hornets over there at Fulton High School. 11U participating in the Masters at the WAC. Now, I'm going to tell you something. They won the championship. They scored 18 runs in pool play in 2 games. 2-0. Then, when it came to bracket play in 3 games, this team scored 37 runs. Won it all. So 37 and 18, I believe that's 55 runs, if I'm not mistaken, right? In 5 games? Yeah. 11 runs, exactly. 11 runs a game. My goodness. Go ahead, Drew. Drop the helmet sticker on him. Dang, for that, give him another one. Oh, my goodness. 55 runs in 5 games. My goodness, that is some offensive firepower. Fulton Sting, kudos. Keep it up. I'll tell you. That's some pretty good stuff. Over at the Turf Championship, they were Game 7 was over in Edwardsville, Plummer Park, Turf Championship. 14U squad, Coach Beckman, or no, not Beckman. Jeez. There was a young man, and I didn't look up his name. Hang on. I'm going to do this while we're talking because I can do that. I can walk and chew bubblegum all at the same time. Only sometimes. And then I have to stop and make sure. Illinois Patriots squad here. There they are. This young man, his name is, I believe that's, Grayson Beckman, okay? Grayson Beckman. He was 1 for 2. He walked once. 3 ribbies, a run scored in a 6-3 win over the Illinois Gators for the championship over there. And that was a triple that he had in that ball game, the one hit. And, a 6-3 ball game, that's a really good baseball game right there at 14U. I love to see that going 7 innings in the championship. Kudos to the Illinois Patriots. They're at a Springfield, Illinois. I haven't heard of the Illinois Patriots before. So I don't know if it's, that sometimes we don't know if it's part of a club or anything of that nature. Not quite sure. Drew, drop it on him. Oh, yeah. Gotta love the helmet stickers. Last one, Marion Wildcats over the Diamond Stars, 6-5. I believe that was the 12U championship win. I love that, 6-5. Good baseball right there. Go ahead and drop it on them, Drew. Sweet. We've got here in about 10 minutes, folks, we got the head coach from St. Charles West coming in the studio, Nuru Allen. He's going to be joining the show, talking about the GAC North upcoming GAC Classic and, just some just his thoughts on the season so far. St. Charles right there in the mix. I think, it's always funny. This is a team that, usually it's pretty tough. They always, right now they're 7-7. People go 7-7. I got them in our top 20 just because of the schedule they play. It's brutal. We're going to finish out the show, so stick with us. We got Coach Allen coming up, and then after that, should have Mitch Thomas joining us. These guys are working, they're training and doing, and so sometimes it's a little difficult because this is their time. They do that stuff as well. But we're going to finish the show with our rankings reveal. It is up on the website right now if you want to go look, though. I'm going to say that right now. If you want, and we have a bunch of helmet stickers because we missed it last year. We got to Flapping Gums with Coach Credo, and we didn't get all the all the high school highlights in from last week. So we got a bunch tonight. We're going to give out some helmet stickers. And so we got a lot of great stuff coming up for you. So hang around with us. Stick with the show. Get your popcorn, whatever it is. Hang out. If you're just, sitting around watching or listening, fantastic. We appreciate you being here in the press box with us as we go through the week in baseball. We have a great week of baseball coming up, folks. We've got tomorrow. We're headed to Illinois. We're heading to O'Fallon Township, Blazer Field. We are going to be live streaming Edwardsville Tigers visiting the O'Fallon Panthers. The Panthers, man, they are that's a good baseball team. Good golly, Miss Molly. Offensively, they got 4 guys swinging over 400. Unbelievable. Hunter Ball is tearing it up for Edwardsville. Eberlin, I don't know if we're going to see Eberlin or not. We'll see. We saw him against, we did see Eberlin against Francis Howell a couple weeks ago. But it'll be interesting to see who goes for these teams. But, man, we are looking for a heck of a matchup. That is our game of the week, and it is definitely a game of the week presented by our good friends over at the Sports Barn. Hey, check out the location if you're in Illinois, over in Wood River, Illinois. Great facility over there. Sports Barn East. Then we're headed over to, on Wednesday, weather permitting, we'll be at Carshield Field for the GAC Classic. We've got the GAC North, and I think the nightcap of this one is going to be a dandy. You've got Orchard Farm playing St. Charles West. I'm really excited about that one. See who comes out. These are always 2 teams battling. You got Warrenton still there working hard to stay in that mix. These teams kind of beat each other up. Great pitching matchups. We'll see who comes out on top there. And then Saturday, we are headed back to Columbia, Missouri. Coach Jeff Bazat invited us to stream the third place and championship games of the Columbia tournament. And folks, when you talk about the Columbia tournament, let's see here. I'm going to pull this up. Should have had it up already, but I didn't. See, that's live television. Is this TV? Yes, it is. Well, it's something like that. Some of you are watching on your phone. Some are watching on a tablet. Doesn't matter where you're watching as long as you're watching. We appreciate you being here, right? But you're talking about 9 of the 14 teams in this tournament are ranked in a YBM poll, okay, whether it be Class 6, 5, 3. Blair Oaks is number 2 in Class 3. You got number 1 Jackson. You have number 1 Willard. You've got top 10 teams in Rockbridge, Francis Howell, Fort Zumwalt West, Eureka, Platte County, Nixa. There you go. 9 out of the 14 teams. This is going to be good. And Hickman's playing very well right now as well, folks. You can't sleep on Battle. They got a big arm there. Smith Cotton's been playing some good baseball. They're always a tough out. Green Valley's a little down this year, so we'll see how they do and fare in this. I think Staley is starting to come on. Staley beat Blue Springs South the other day 10-0 last week. 10-0, folks. And then came to Platte County and beat them 4-2. We were talking with Coach Josenberger. There it is. I knew it was something like that, right? Coach Josenberger. And, he was talking about it. He says, we're just inexperienced. He wouldn't, I kept saying, well, you guys got a young team. He goes, no, we're inexperienced. That's it. And I love the fact that he's a no-nonsense, no-excuses kind of guy. I love that about Coach Josenberger. He doesn't make excuses. You got to go out and execute. You got to go out and play. No matter how young you are, this or that, it's a matter of learning the game and playing it the right way. And he holds a high standard for these kids, and you can see. And as we were watching that game unfold, you could see that there was some mistakes, some mental mistakes still. But this team is on the brink, and you got Maltzby behind the plate. We saw Aiden Sleepy Boyd, we'll get to. I love that nickname, right? That's a fantastic nickname. And we're going to be getting into our high school section here. Hopefully, Coach Allen will be joining us here shortly. So, but tonight, as always, our high school baseball talk presented by the Missouri High School Baseball Coaches Association. If you want to check it out, go to the Missouri High School Baseball. Go to mhsbca.net. That's the website for those folks. We got to know these coaches over the last couple of years. I've known a lot of coaches, but Brian Harmon, fantastic job there, and we've been now partnering with them for the last couple of years. We went and live streamed to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. We've been going to the clinic now. That was our second year last year, and we'll definitely be going back. Enjoy the conversations, meeting coaches, meeting new coaches, and just the overall opportunity to hear what's going on there, and just having conversations with all these different coaches from Class 1 up to Class 6 and listening to what they have to say. It's a lot of fun. Really enjoy it every year that we've been there so far. And so we appreciate the partnership. We're going to be live streaming the senior all-star games this year again. We were at Southern Boone this year. We'll be back at Columbia. I think it's going to be at Rockbridge as well. So I love that venue. It's nice. So we're going to be doing the all three all-star games there. What, Drew? What are you laughing at? Cool. All right. Let's get into this. We're going to get into it really quick. And discuss the GAC North as we head into the GAC Classic this week. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch these teams. Who's going to be there? Holt is part of the GAC North as well. And standings currently, they just started playing. And you have Orchard Farm at 2-0. They're 8-3 overall. St. Charles West 7-7, 2-0 in league. Holt is 2-8. Their only 2 wins are in conference play. Huh? Warrenton 5-6, 0-2. St. Charles 3-10, they're 0-2, and Winfield's 0-5 and 0-2 in league. We're going to see. You got Warrenton is taking on Holt, so that's going to be an interesting one. Warrenton is 0-2 in conference, and honestly, I don't think Warrenton has much room. They can't lose another. They're going to have a hard time if they lose another game, because Orchard Farm, St. Charles West, and not to mention, we're going to have Orchard Farm and Warrenton on a game of the week here in, it'll be a couple weeks from now. Come on in here, Coach. Jump in. Come around this way here and have a seat. We're live. It's all good, bro. Got Coach Allen dropping in here. He's probably coming from practice. Close?
Close enough.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How's things?
Not too bad.
Yeah?
Not too bad. Just trying to.
We're going to jump you up to that.
Okay. Trying to figure things out and stuff. So, no, it's been fun.
Very good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, we were talking about this. We just started talking about the JC North. And I always say that. I have you back. I love the way you do your schedule. I know I look at it and I'm 7-7, but then I look at your 7-7 against other Class 4 teams, and I look at your schedule and others, and I go, there's a big difference here.
Yeah.
In the level of competition that's being played. And you do that on purpose, don't you?
Yeah. We've had.
Microphone there.
Okay.
That's cool.
Is this big?
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I blame the past teams that I've had. The reason why the schedule is so tough. You know, and coming into this year with, you know, kind of a not necessarily young, but just an inexperienced team.
We heard that before.
Yeah, and we figured that, you know, with this schedule, it would, especially at the beginning, it'd be kind of a sink or swim kind of deal. And we've, you know, at least kept afloat for right now.
Yeah, you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have. You know, it's funny. We were just talking about. We were just at Platte County.
Okay.
And Staley was there, and Coach Josenberger said almost the exact same thing. He says, do you use the term inexperienced? Doesn't like to use the term young.
Right.
Because is there something about that?
Well, yeah, because we're not necessarily young. We've got 7 seniors that are on the team. We've got, I think, I don't know how many juniors, but we got a handful of juniors, and we've got, you know, then we got a freshman and a couple sophomores sprinkled in here and there. But I mean, we've got some older guys that have kind of been around, but they haven't been asked to be that person, you know. And for the past 7 years that I've been the head coach, we've had like one guy, you know, starting with Josh Newell and Ray Rico. Those were like those guys that we could lean on them, and especially having Josh for 4 years, you know, him and I pretty much came up together and kind of built the foundation of what we've got going on now. And then we had, you know, BG and, you know, Kilker and Box, and those guys kind of took it and, kept going with it with the Quins and the Dissel horses sprinkled here and there. And this is like kind of the first team where, you look at St. Charles West and you're like, who's that guy? And, they'll look at us and they'll be like, there's not really one person you can point out, be like, hey, if we will go and keep this guy off the base, or if we make sure he doesn't get a hit, then we'll, have success against St. Charles West. Well, this year with the experience, they're trying to find themselves, and we are starting to kind of discover who we are. We still got a long way to go, like a long way to go, but they are starting to kind of figure out how to do it, when it comes to close games, how to win and everything else. And it's been kind of fun to see the journey. Trust me, there's been some gray hairs here and there with some of the things that we've had go on, but it's been fun. It's been real fun.
I love the fact Ray Rico. There's a name I hadn't heard in a while.
One of the more underrated players, not only in St. Charles West, but probably one of the more underrated players in the state back in 2021.
Yeah, my goodness. Josh Newell got a chance. He came in the studio here just as a senior now. Man, he's just electric for Lindenwood, isn't he?
Yeah. I would say that I'm surprised, but I'm not. That is something to where I was singing his praises since he was a junior. I knew when he was a freshman that he was going to be special. Probably one of the reasons why I ended up taking the St. Charles West job, just because seeing him and his character is his biggest attribute in whatever he does, and he hasn't experienced failure because he works too hard to fail. And he's been one of the reasons why St. Charles West baseball is so successful, because of kind of how he went about business, how he, just how he did his things. And now he's going to Lindenwood. He was under-recruited, and I was very frustrated with that, but he was under-recruited. But Lindenwood, they were D2 at that time, recruited him. And then when he went D1, I remember him telling me at Winfield during basketball that, hey, Lindenwood went D1 and they still want me. And I knew that was the best choice for Lindenwood, and I knew that was the best choice for Josh. And, I mean, if this dude is if he's not pitcher of the year in OVZ again, I mean, that would be criminal.
Well, he's already, I think, got 2 pitcher of the weeks in the OVC I've seen.
They might have named the award after him now. I mean, seriously. And I'm his probably his biggest fan.
I love Josh. Yeah, he's fantastic.
He's awesome.
And I got a chance to go. I hadn't seen him pitch. I'm hoping I can get back over and see him. But did get the chance to go over and watch him pitch the other day. It's been a couple weeks ago, right at the beginning of the season. We're running all over the country so much.
I see that.
Gets a little, but I love that part of it. And he's one of the special ones, I think.
Oh yeah, I just love how he went about it, and his story is awesome, and just he deserves every good thing that comes his way, and it's awesome to see him go out there and do what he does best.
Talk to us about this GAC North this year. Is it down?
Well, I mean, we just played. We had 2 against Warrenton, and we were fortunate to get some victories against them. I think we're down as a class. I don't believe so. Mm-hmm. I would go with the inexperience, because there are names that we're used to seeing in the GAC North, and with Warrenton, when you don't see a Haas and a Peth and a D Sylvester and stuff like that. I mean, Coach Burley, has a crew that he would probably say is probably young and inexperienced, and they are trying to discover how to win and everything else. And so, do you look at that as down, or do you look at it as
he's got some youthful talent.
Yeah, and they were,
I agree.
and they were fine. And honestly, those games, to be honest, if you look at it, I mean, they are 1 or 2 pitches away from either a split or a sweep against us. So, So that's just one team, and I know Winfield is the scores haven't looked great for them and everything else, and so once again you lose a Creech, you lose people like that, like there's going to be some attrition with that, and so
Emmons they're still in that I mean I don't know what else they have.
Right, and to be honest, I don't know too much about them right now. I've seen some games on them and everything else, but I just think that they're, once again, just kind of young, inexperienced, and just trying to find themselves. So, are we down as a conference? I don't know. I don't want to say that because I think in any given moment, any team can beat anyone. I know Orchard Farm is very talented. I know they didn't lose much from last year. I know High has, with Robertson and I know Whitty and their catcher Nick. I don't want to say his last name because I had him in class. I can't say his last name, but those.
I understand that, Coach.
Right. So I mean, those guys. That's just if you get on a roll there's something, and I guarantee when they people look at St. Charles West, they're thinking they're down because there's no Gehring, there's no Kilker, there's no Box, and right.
But there is Ty Ducati.
Yeah, there's Ty, and it's Ducati. He'll
is it
whatever.
Ducati?
Mm-hmm. Ducati.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem.
Sorry, Ty.
Yeah, he hasn't missed the weight room at all either. But we've got people. But the thing is, they're not the household names. Now, hopefully they'll become. But we've got some talented guys that I love to talk about.
Well, you got Orchard Farm this week.
Yes.
Hopefully the weather holds out, and Wednesday we're going to be at the GAC Classic.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for because I want to see that game. I really do. Whatever matchup that is, it's going to be a tough one, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it's what, April, could be April 15th when we play, and you'd hate to say that, hey, this is like a must win or, but that being said, like there's a lot that could ride on
that's
this.
District too.
That's what I'm talking about. Like you got districts, you got conference. There's a lot that can go happen with this, with these games that could, go a long way for the rest of the season. So we're very excited. I know how the last game went with Orchard Farm and ourselves was, it was very entertaining. It was very it was a great high school baseball game, and I know that it was one of those things that Orchard Farm could use that last game as a rallying cry because of how the dramatics of how they lost and everything else. So I'm expecting them to come out ready to go. And with the talent they have, because they didn't lose much from last year, I mean, it's going to be a tough test for us. And like once again, we haven't had a lot of guys in the limelight, and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see if we step up and meet their challenge.
Nobody, and if you know what's good for you, you can't sleep on St. Charles West. You just can't. I don't care if you think maybe I don't know who this. Don't do it.
Well,
I'm sorry. It's just the truth. There's some of the teams, and we've been doing this now for quite some time. And Coach, you're one of those squads, one of those schools. I like Fort Zumwalt West. We didn't. I was like, man, I don't. Where's West? I know the three guys, but they got a lot of question marks. And boom,
right.
It just. You should go, yeah, I should have known better, right? And it's just one of those things. And that's why I always look at, and I think it's tough with Class 4, especially when you guys are in this area, you have to just play who's there in front of you.
Yep.
And so it could be Class 6. It could be Class 5. You had your tournament recently, and there were some Class 6 schools in there.
Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking, but like, yeah, me and the coaches, we always, like, before the season, we'll kind of look at the schedule and whatever. And then, there's times where our tournament will, lose a team, add a team or whatever. And then, we go and we lost a couple teams. And then you go and add Jackson and Parkway Central and stuff like that, and Liberty. And just like, oh, geez. And that's there's other teams that were looking to come in when, we just didn't have enough space. But, you get those teams in there, and you're kind of like, man, we're, playing this schedule with some inexperienced guys. What do we do? And then, just go out there and see what we can do, And, the first part of the season we treated as not necessarily like preseason, but just kind of like, let's get our feet wet. Let's see what's up. And, we were able to do some things. Now, the game against Battle, we took baseball back a couple years. It wasn't our best showing at all.
It happens.
It does happen. And my goodness, I remember after that game, I was just like, oh, geez, this is going to challenge me this season. But with our guys, we're pretty gritty. So it was pretty fun to see us bounce back from that.
But you got to love and I think it's interesting. I started doing this, and, just because I'm watching this and talking to coaches like yourself, you look at the first third of the season, and that's it. You got to find out who you are, who can pitch, what innings are going to got, who's showing up, who's not.
Right.
And, right now, when you hit that conference, you're in that second, third.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really kind of go time. And if guys aren't there, it can be difficult, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we try our best to give everybody an opportunity to show what they can do in a game setting. And, there's times where there's guys that step up.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other times where it's like, okay, they're not necessarily ready at this moment. And what we have discovered, that there's several guys that we can, that in a certain situation, we've garnered some trust in the sense of, okay, if we need 2 outs in this inning, we can bring this person in. If we need a pinch hit in this situation, I know we can bring this person in. And if there's conference starters, we can lean on these guys. And it's been fun, and it's been fun kind of moving some pieces. And we had an idea at the beginning of the season, and then you get to a certain part, like, okay, then that's changed, and then you get that changed, then you go a little bit further, like, okay, something else changed. And it's just been fun kind of really trying to work and manipulate our pieces to where it fits our team, our personality, and everything else.
Definitely a culture there. Look, we are live, and Lauren, you're on that. If you're watching and you follow us on X, whatnot, you got a question for Coach or a question about what's going on at the GAC North, please shoot it in. We haven't done anything like that before, but might as well give it a shot. You never know.
I mean, I'll answer some questions.
Yeah.
You might not like my answers. So.
Overall, Class 4 still pretty strong. Is there Duchenne's back in Class 3. It was interesting.
That's nice.
Teams around. Who's on your radar, Coach?
Well, the biggest teams on my radar right now is Orchard Farm and St. Charles High, just because they're local. Mm-hmm. They're in our district. They're in our conference. They're garnering all our attention, just because we're not good enough to look forward to, like, looking at the Southern Moons and everything else. I mean, they're who they are and whatnot, but we've got to make sure that we handle home first before I can start even thinking about anything outside of here. And those teams, once again, if they don't get all our attention, they will come up and beat us. And we don't want our season to end on the hands of Orchard Farm or St. Charles High. And I'm sure if you talk to Coach Bickle or Coach Sugar, I guarantee they'll say the same thing, that the last thing they want is either St. Charles West or St. Charles High or Orchard Farm to be the reason why we're not playing anymore. So not to be lame, but,
No, it's
but
fine.
that's
the answer.
that's what's garnering my attention now. With all that being said, I know, like I said, the Southern Boones of the world are always teams that are just in the mix every time. I know Helias moved to Class 4, and we played them in the Missouri Festival, and we ended up losing to them. And that makes it that wasn't a great game for us, but we kind of saw them. So it's we're aware, but Orchard Farm and St. Charles High got our attention.
I'm glad you brought that up because I had forgotten that St. Charles was in Class 4 this year instead of because they were Class 5 last year. I know they were
they were Class 4 last because they were in
they
were in our district last year.
I thought they were still in Class 5 last year.
No, they ended because they were in our district. We had I think it was a 6-team district because they ended up playing. No, it was 5-team. 16. They ended up playing Lutheran St. Charles.
Okay.
And I think they ended up beating them and then losing to Orchard Farm, if I'm not mistaken. If I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But either way it goes. No, I lied. I don't know. I'm getting old, but I think either way, I think they're in our district, and I think either they beat Lutheran St. Charles and ended up losing to Duchesne. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, our we're paying attention. We go across the board and just some, of course, Logan Rogersville.
Yeah, they're tough.
That's a whole. Mm-hmm. But the one that surprised me so far this year is Moberly.
Okay.
They're 13-1, and they lost about 4 guys that were really integral to that school, to that team. And there was a handful of kids left there. They've only got like 4 seniors on that squad, and they're just playing some outstanding baseball. Coach Boyer's got that group rolling, man.
Yeah.
And the defending state champs, the Hornets, 13-2. Excelsior Springs, there's a name I think that's pretty familiar.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
They're always in the mix. They're always in the mix.
11-2 Seneca down in the Southwest. 10-3. One that's interesting to me, Harrisonville, the Wildcats. I think they've been down quite a bit, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Coach Ash that said they've always been a pretty good program, and they're back this year. 8-1 as of this week. Boonville, of course.
Yep.
We got to see them. That's the longest high school game I've ever seen. We went and it was our game of the week at Boonville. It was Blair Oaks.
Okay.
Came to their town. 13 innings.
Jesus.
That's 2 high school games, Coach.
I mean,
pretty much as close.
That's a long time. I mean, that kind of. I mean, a 13-inning game. How you prepare for that, and getting people for pitch counts and everything else. I mean, that gives a lot of credit to the coaching and how they plan and everything. Like if we play 13 innings, I would be scared. I would hope there wouldn't be a game next day because the pitching would
be depleted. Right?
Yeah. It would just be a hard thing to navigate through.
Not to mention Blair Oaks got up. They drove back home, lost that game, on a walk-off, drove home, got up the next morning, drove to Borgia.
Oh, God.
And won 1-0.
Certain teams just have a way. And Blair Oaks is just one of those teams. Doesn't matter because I know their coach last year is now at, I think, Missouri Valley.
Yes, sir.
And stuff like that.
Yep.
The culture there is something special, and they got the buy-in and everything else. And it's just that's one of the teams that I kind of pay attention to from afar, from being in the St. Louis area and hearing about them. And, wasn't necessarily upset that they dropped down to Class 3. You know.
I don't blame you. I think there's a lot of Class 4 schools that fine. We'll have to
Well,
mess with them.
I mean, Blair Oaks is just one of those things that just have mind control over me. The first or second year coaching, we played them in the quarterfinals, and I mean, when we got off the bus and we saw them boys, I was like, they're different. They're just different, and and I'm a good sized guy, and I'm trying to 47 years old, trying to stay fit and everything else, but I'm seeing these dudes and at 15, 16, 17, well fed, lifting weights and everything, and looking at our little guys, we're just like, man, they're a little different, and so they just do their thing.
Yeah, they do. We got Mexico at number 8, the Bulldogs. They got a little slide there, but they'll be all right. I think they'll be fine.
Well, they play a tough schedule. If I'm not mistaken, they played I think Zumwalt East, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they beat East.
They beat them. Yeah, that's right, because I talked to Coach Hill about that and stuff. So.
Yep. And Southern Boone, kind of like you on that respect, that brutal schedule, they're 7-6. Same thing, I kind of go, we'll wait, we'll see. Coach Ash, he's a dude.
Yeah, he's one of the best to do it. So
yeah, Benton is there, 9-5. Eldon. You know the one that's interesting? There's always one that kind of pops up. The North County Raiders.
I've seen their names a couple times now, and
Yeah.
they're one of those teams to where I don't know much about them.
Right.
But it seems like that team is being said more and more, and it's like, hey, we need to start paying attention, because if their names are being out there and they're, I'm looking at the schedule, they're playing people, and stuff. Like when I start seeing them playing people where, it's some of the guys, some of the teams that are better known, in my opinion, that's just that coach is having confidence in what they're doing, and he feels that he's got a team that could do something.
9-3.
Yeah.
And you're right. I agree. They're playing a decent schedule. It didn't chump change.
No.
Stratford's playing well. The Indians, they've had a couple of really good wins. 9-6. The Savannah Savages. Got to say it that way. I can't help it. 9-4. Savannah's been one of those teams that's kind of there.
Right.
They've been there kind of every year that we've seen them. Orchard Farm at 8-3.
Yeah.
Hollister. The Hollister Tigers. 9-4. That one's that popped up. Another one that popped up on my radar. I'm like, good wins. And, not chump change.
Right.
So always like Nevada 7-5. I got you guys at 18 at 7-7.
Might be too high, but I mean, we'll take it.
Like I said, I look at the schedule and I'm looking at everything around, and your schedule's just a bit tougher.
Yeah.
I
mean, it is, but.
And that's no offense to other schools or anything like that. And I'm not saying that just because you're sitting here. You know that I'm not going to do that. I have a lot of respect for your program, and that's where that. Same with Springfield Catholic. Coach Spitz does a great job with that group. They're 7-6, but again, schedule.
Right.
I think that makes a difference, and I think when we've talked about that a lot on these shows, and Coach Mulder on the show and talking about some of those things. You want when we talk to the Class 6 schools. Or Class 6 coaches, they do the same thing. They're talking, we want the toughest schedule we can. We've talked with Coach Roach with Jackson. It's tough. He talks about it. He says, we try to find, but a lot of smaller schools around where he's at, so they really have to travel.
Yeah.
It's tougher.
Yeah.
And so, working to find that competition, in one respect, it's fortunate you don't have to go too far.
Right.
You can play just, down the road. You don't have to go too far to either get whooped or win a game.
I know, and we've done it both, and it is like, and the schedule does matter, and the schedule, you you are who you are. It's a lot, and I told my team today, you are what your record is. And right now we are a 7-7 team, and nobody cares on how we lost or why we lost or the reasons why we lost. But you're 7-7, and we've got good losses, we've got bad losses, and got everything in between. But we're not going to shy away from anybody. We're going to put our nose down, and we're going to go and compete against any team. And that's one thing that I'm proud of with the schedule we've played and with the guys that we have, is the fact that we are not shying away from anything, and we've put ourselves in pretty good position to win games and to do certain things.
Coming up at the end there, 20 Westminster Wildcats, 6-5-1. We got there's some stuff there, some teams that'll balance through this. That's our Class 4 rankings, and I think for the most part, it's tough. You have a lot more teams in Class 4, so it takes a little bit to go through that and look, and the best we can do. Sometimes we've seen a few here, and then we try to talk to as many coaches as possible. And the coaches poll is out. The first one came out here not too long ago, and I looked at it and I was like, man, we're pretty close.
Yeah. No, it's not bad. I mean,
as coaches are saying, I like that team, and usually, and it's tough too, because there's some coaches, they don't see everybody either.
Right.
They're doing the best they can. And
that's with me. I mean, the Class 4, because there's not many Class 4s around here, and with our schedule and how busy we are, it's hard to go out there and look at every Class 4. And once again, like I told you earlier, my Class 4 brain is just thinking about Orchard Farm and St. Charles High.
I don't blame you.
You know what I mean? And they're garnering all our attention when it comes to Class 4 stuff. But it's a lot to do and go through, and and deciphering with schedules and all that stuff. And so how you guys do it is amazing.
Well, it's a few hours. Once in a while.
You got that's.
But I love the fact that and this is the thing that challenges us, is to get out and see as much baseball as we can.
Right.
And it's harder. But we're pushing ourselves, pushing boundaries. It's wild. I was looking at our schedule and I'm like, man, we're traveling everywhere, and I'm like, we haven't even hardly done a local game yet.
Oh no, I see the stuff on X and whatever platform you guys are on, but I'll go and see you going and interviewing somebody in I don't know, Springfield Catholic or some place in Kansas City, and I'm just like, geez, I remember when it was just around here, and you do a game at St. Charles West or whatever. Now you guys are, you might as well get a plane now.
Oh man, that'd be nicer.
I'm sure it would.
It would be, but no, Coach, we're going to be back around. That's why I'm excited. Hopefully, I'm hoping we get this classic in. I
hope so too. I know there's been conversations that potentially will try to move the game up. So if weather comes in later, maybe we'd be able to fit it in. I'm not sure, but I would love for it to get in, because I know that our guys are ready to play. I know Orchard Farm's ready to play, and I know the rest of the GAC North. It's just we love, and I heard a rumor that this might be the last one they do. I hope that's not the case.
Oh, really?
I heard just a rumor. I don't know, but I love the fact that each, one of the Wednesdays in April, we've got it dedicated to the GAC North, South, and Central, and you kind of are able to put those teams on showcase, so then people are able to see and then get to recognize the talent that's in the GAC North, and get to recognize names and stuff like that. It's just a great thing.
It works for us because it's a great opportunity. I mean, it's 3 games, but teams that a lot of people don't get to see, or we get a chance to put our eyeballs on, and you got one setting, and it makes a huge difference.
Oh,
man. I love that part of it. I hope not. You know.
I hope not either. Like I said, I hope it was just a rumor or whatever. But I just think the boys love it. They're kind of looking forward to it and everything else. So
very good. Coach, you can hang around. I'm hoping to get Mitchy the kid. I don't think he's going to make it, is he? I don't know. We're going to find out. You can hang out if you want. You can take off if you need to. We're going to finish up our show.
I'll hang out just for a little bit.
All right. I love that.
Just for a little bit.
We're gonna get into the rest of our rankings here, and I'll get your thoughts on some of these. You know, with Class 6, we're gonna jump back up to Class 6. We're at Class 6, right, Drew? Yeah, gotcha. I know I messed him up already with Class 4, but since Coach was here, I wanted to do it.
Sorry.
No. He's used to me. Jackson, we have at number 1. Okay. 13-1. Did you see them?
No,
at your tournament?
They were on the other side of the bracket
from
us, but I know that they won our tournament, and I know that they had to play Battle, Zumalt North, Parkway Central from that side, and then they ended up playing SLU for the championship. So obviously they're talented. I mean, that's just one of the teams that, you know, you hear a lot about. And so for them to reach out to want to be in our tournament, it was just kind of like, you know, our coaches are like, well, what are we doing? Like, you know, we're hosting a tournament and we're the smallest team in this tournament, you know? And then, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, that sucks, but, you know, God, why not? You know, why not have some of the best teams in the area come out and, you know, you try to compete against them? And, you know, we didn't get a chance to play them or whatever, but obviously they're a talented bunch and they're doing great things.
Yeah. Their only loss is to Edwardsville. They beat everybody else in Missouri.
Yeah, says enough right there.
That's why I got them at number 1. Eureka right behind them at 2, 11-3. The pitching is insane.
Of
course. It's an embarrassment of riches over there with the pitching.
That coach over there annoys me so much. He's one of the guys that just get on my nerves. And I'm joking because he was my old roommate in college, my boy Ken Draghi. He's a long time. He was
People
one of
like.
Yeah, I know. He was one of my best friends in college. Him and I were roommates. So we've got stories upon stories. But that was my guy. And I'm glad
He was fired up at the beginning of the season too, man. He was pumped up.
Oh, well, that's him. Like that is him, and that's what makes him a great coach because he is fiery. He's a dude that, he coaches with a chip on his shoulder, and I'm sure his boys play like that. And I'm a firm believer of teams taking on your coach's personality, for better or worse or whatever. But I think if your coach is a certain way, then I think your team responds that way, and that's why they've been successful. And it's no accident that Kenny won a state championship at Rockwood Summit, and then he goes and chills and has a family and everything else, and he comes back, and all of a sudden Eureka. I'd say all of a sudden Eureka's always been up top, but they're doing great things, and I know they're just on the cusp of doing even bigger things, and I'm sure they'll get over the hump soon. But no, my boy Kenny that's my boy. Like I said, we're longtime friends.
That team, if the offense if they can put that offense together, it's going to be a hard team to beat.
Oh yeah,
hard team to beat.
Mm-hmm.
Liberty North, we got to see Liberty North. They played Lee Summit. I'm going to tell you about a dude. There he is. My goodness, now we got to put on the headphones. There you go. Hand me mine, Lauren. What's up, man? It's dark where you're at, bro.
Well, I am in my
Coach
vehicle.
Allen with us here.
My guy, what's up, Nuru?
What's going on, Mitch? How you doing, buddy?
Just got done with my 9U practice, and I apologize for coming in a little bit late. I had to have an important conversation with a 9U kid that was One of those things about feelings. And so I wanted to make sure I addressed it. It was more important to make sure that he's having fun playing baseball versus, in his feelings. So I apologize for being on a little late.
Don't apologize. You got to take care of business. That's what it works, right? If kids got big feelings, it happens, right?
They do. He's going through it too. He's got stuff happening. You know how it goes.
Yeah, that conversation hopefully will resonate with him for a while, and just the fact that you took time to talk to him. I don't know how the conversation went, but it will probably bode well for him regardless of what he wants to do. So
absolutely.
Good job, Mitch.
He asked me, so I said something to him. I go, because he's getting picked on a little bit, right? And so I was kind of trying to explain to him, like, ribbing can be fun until it goes to a certain point. And I ended with, I got picked on and da-da-da-da. And I go, you could say anything you want to me except for being late for dinner. And he chuckled, and he went from crying to, kind of locked back in and having to finish off the conversation. And he goes, doesn't look like you've ever been late to dinner. And I was like, yep, I won that one.
I love it.
It's funny because it's funny that he's giving me a little bit of business, you know what I mean, so it's just how it goes. He's 9.
Yeah.
So sorry guys, but that took precedence for me.
Nah, man, we were just talking. We were into our Class 6 rankings, revealing it. I got Jackson, Eureka, Liberty North. You saw SLU? Did you guys play SLU?
We played SLU.
What do you think of SLU?
Well, they could pitch, and they've always could pitch. When we faced them, it was a really good game. I know the score ended up being, I think, 7-0, if I'm not mistaken. But it was honestly, it was a 1-0 game for 6 innings, 1-0, 2-0, and we were right there. First game of the season, and I know it was first game of the season for them, and they were working other pitchers and stuff, but they were tough. I just thought the strength of their team when we saw them, once again, was game 1, was their pitching, and they dominated us on the mound, and we weren't strong hitters at that time. But they're well coached, and they got guys that can swing it, and I just think they're doing great things. And like I said, from the past 3 or 4 years that we faced them, the one thing that stuck out with me is just how they do on the mound.
Yeah, we got SLU. I moved him up to number 4, Mitch.
Well, it's every time I'm on this show and you say these schools and these names, I go to the leadership of guys, and I'm going to bring them up because I think the world of this young person and his family and Cole Chambers. And the thing about SLU is I had a conversation with his parents. There's other kids like Cole in that program that are leaders, maybe not skill set wise, but mentality wise or winning ways. That's kind of the culture that's being built inside that dugout. And you have a 2-time state champion as a keeper for SLU, and it's kind of carried over into managing the baseball chemistry and culture. And I think that's a good number, and they may end up being number 1 this year because that's a really talented team.
Ooh, you went right there, didn't you?
Well, yes, I did, mostly because of Cole, but they're deep. Like they're shutting teams out at sometimes it seems like it will. I know that they played a close game the other day, but they're putting up runs and they're not giving up any, and that's recipe for success. So, for me, I can see them taking over that 1 spot here in our area.
Chambers is hitting .538. His on base is .633. Slugging .744. 15 runs, 15 ribbies, 3 doubles, a triple, and a home run. goodness.
Just a
pretty good.
junior.
Yeah. Logan Studer's another name. Jack Friedman, the kid. I mean, they've got some guys at the top of that order that are working very well. I think they're going to be. That's why I moved them up. I got Knicks at 5. Moved Blue Springs South down to 6. They got beat up by Staley the other day. Pretty good. 10-0. Couple losses here. We'll see. They're still good. I mean, that's why they're number 6. It's not. We did see the Liberty Blue Jays in Springfield at the Red and Blue Festival with Glendale. And I'll tell you, we talk about high school coaching and things like this. Kirk Bragg is one of those guys, fundamentally sound, has high expectations for his kids, execution. And you watch that team and you just see it. And they may not even be as talented as other teams. They got talent, don't get me wrong. But, man, they execute well.
Well, if you get coaches that are talented, but then they demand like perfection, or and they really they harp on the little details and making sure the little details are fine-tuned. I mean, that's the essence of coaching, and the fact that you can have a coach with talent that are demanding these guys to go and get the little details done. I mean, that's going to be a hard team to beat, and that's something that I always strive for at St. Charles West. Sometimes I got it, sometimes I don't. But I mean, you get teams with that talent to do that. That's something special.
Absolutely. Mitch, you keep teaching them 9-year-olds how to bunt, bro.
I ain't doing that. Why would I do that?
You got to, bro.
Rue and I hit back to back and somewhere in the lineup together. No, we weren't bunting. I'm not going to teach my 9U team to bunt, but it's funny that, hearing about these coaches and the winning ways and kind of teaching winning baseball. The thing that I think the buy-in happens if you can get the players to have that. That's how you can separate yourselves, and I think that was a key in kind of what I heard Coach Nuru just say. Is sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't. You still need the players to buy into that method.
100%, 100%, and that's one of those things to where I talked about Josh Duell and kind of how we went about business, and those days that I didn't have it or whatnot, a player like Josh or BG Kilker or the Quinn boys or whatever, they were able to do those things and pass it along to other players and stuff like that. So you're right, Mitch.
Rounding out the top 10, Rockbridge, Francis Howell, and Fort Zumwalt West. You can go. I got Lafayette right behind him. I think Lafayette is really good. Going to be a tough team to beat. Go check it out. Go check out our rankings at youthbaseballmidwest.com. We're going to jump to Class 5. This hasn't changed much. Top 5, Willard, Webb City, Rockwood Summit, St. Pius X, Platte County. Those 5 teams. Webb City is really good. Willard, really good. Rockwood Summit, we saw them against Marquette. They lost, but they beat Marquette the day before, and it was a close game. Wyatt Schneider hits one oppo. Throneberry hit one out. Rockwood Summit is really good. Well coached. Coach Schneider does a great job there with that squad. Another one, guys that just get it done. Mm-hmm. It's amazing to me when we talk about these teams. Willard's another one. That's a system. He's got Levi Hilton. Mm-hmm. His son, Jarrett McGee, excellent ball player. Cade, I'm trying to remember the other kid's name. I'm upset with myself now. But it's not just like these dudes like, D Boom, No, these guys, it's buy-in.
Right.
And that, to me, is what you see at the top of this here. All of these schools, with the exception of probably Platte County with Brendan McLaughlin. He's the ORU going to Oral Roberts, and he's definitely a dude. But the rest of it, these are all schools that get it done by what you were talking about, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, you said Willard. I mean, that's kind of just a staple. And just honestly, when you go and see those coaches and how they present themselves at the Missouri Baseball Coaches Clinic, I mean, you could just see it right there on just how they go about their business and how successful they are. I mean, they dress successful, and you just tell that they walk around with the confidence, knowing that, you know, we've got a good squad, we're well coached, and like you said, the system it speaks for itself. And when you got that, and just when you put that uniform on, or honestly, with a name like Willard, you go and step on the field against certain teams, that might give you a 2-run advantage just because your name is Willard. I mean, it's silly to say, but that's true. There's a lot of times where people, I mean, these kids, we're dealing with high school kids, and they go and see the name in front of the jersey, and as soon as you see the name in front of the jersey, they have already kind of got you in their head. And as a coach, you know, there's certain teams that we play. I see their name in front of the jersey, I'm just like, oh man, this, you know, like Timberland. First time I played Timberland, I felt really good coming in that game winning, and we got smacked. And Adam Hatchman was pitching. He threw a one-hitter. He was throwing heavy balls against our door, pretty much to intimidate us, and he did. And he got the victory. So anytime Timberland came across our schedule, I was just, So we took him off the schedule.
I love it.
Yeah.
Right, Mitch?
Well, I mean, it's funny that he says that there's guys like that, but you know, I played baseball with Rue, and we went through this as baseball players when we were facing teams as adults, that you could walk into something and it just doesn't stop. And I think he's right. Like, you go into something and automatically you feel like, oh my gosh, we're facing this team again, and it's because they have years of being good. And I'm going back, and I'm a Missouri guy, St. Louis guy, and in high school baseball, they were good then. They're continued to be good over 30 plus years, and you can't just see them on the schedule and like, yeah, I got them this year. I mean, you want to do that, but sometimes, you know, you see that as a player, and it's just like, we're in for a long day, and you know, right then and there as a coach, it's like, we're already down.
Yeah, that stinks to be like that, but God, it's reality, unfortunately.
It is. Here's a school, Carl Junction. Now, this is what's going to be interesting here. In Class 5, in District 6, you've got Willard, you got Webb City, and you have Carl Junction. That is 3 of the top 6 teams I have in our poll. Carl Junction's 15-4. They've already beat Webb City. And this is what you got in District 6. One of the top 3 teams in this state is not going to come out of that district. I always think that's just fascinating. It's going to be such a tough district there. But this is a team, Coach McGee said at the beginning of the season, he says, you got to watch this team. He said, they're going to be good. He goes, I don't know how good, but they're going to be good. And boom, 15-4. So you pay attention to what Coach McGee says.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. He's got his finger on the pulse of it down there. Carl Junction winning some ball games. And I think it's going to be interesting to watch them as they go through that conference and that district. It's going to be a bloodbath between those 3. Webb City, Willard, 1 and 2, 6, Carl Junction, all in District 6 in Class 5. Going to be tough. St. Dominic here, the Crusaders, got them at 7. They've hit a little tough patch. Mm-hmm. Got some losses, but I think they're going to be just fine.
They always are. Once again, they're well coached. They play the game hard. They play with the game with a lot of enthusiasm. They play the game with a lot of moxie. And the coach, and I don't want to say his name because I'll kill it.
It's Kai Arell.
Yeah, Kai Arell. Yeah, and he.
That's what I got. I blew it up before, Coach.
Well, I let you blow it up again because I know Kai, and I've coached against him, several times, and he's just done well there, and replacing the old coach that he was there for years, and then he'd come in and kind of make keep it going and going even further. I mean, they're doing great things, and when it's all said and done, they're going to be right in the mix for their district and making a state run.
Absolutely. You like this squad too, don't you, Mitch?
Yeah, I do. There was a couple of games where I felt like the way they played, because they struggle. I obviously have some ties in St. Dominic. Got some kids there that I've coached. I don't know if you know this or not, Nuru. Kai actually played with the Spikes as well. That's how I met Coach Arell. He's a former Spike, so we got Spikes just running around this area like crazy. But the way that he, goes about his business, and he was out early on. He just had a brand new baby. He was been away from the game, and so you don't know what the atmosphere is like when you're missing you're missing your head coach. The first few weeks of baseball. For me, I know that they're eventually going to get there. I know that they're doing some bonding events, trying to put that team together. But I think defense is going to be the reason why that team doesn't make it. It's kind of let them down a little bit early on in some of these games.
No, something to watch. There you go. I love that. Insider's look. Kearney
baseball.
Ah, there you go, baby. Kearney Bulldogs got a chance to see. We saw Kearney against Glendale in Springfield. You were talking about Blair Oaks when they got off the bus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some grown men, and you're like, wow, that's a fit. That was the first thing I said. That's a physical team, and they are. They're inexperienced as well. They got some growing pains, but I think they're going to be right there at the end. Cameron Taylor, the pitcher there, big arm, D1. They've got an opportunity. I think they will be one of those teams there at the end. The physicality of it is just crazy. Summit Christian with the Zumwalt brothers, 9-3. It'll be interesting to see. They're playing. They were a Class 4 team. Mm-hmm. They got bumped to Class 5 because of championship points. They were Class 3 playing up, and now it just went up like that. They played a Class 4 schedule. It'll be interesting to see how well that does for them in the end.
Depends on what Class 4 teams they're playing. Like there's some Class 4 teams that can compete with Class 6 teams, what I'm saying?
Right.
But, I mean, that's a big jump, but coaching matters. And, you got good coaches, get your players playing a certain way. I mean, anything's possible, like Kevin Garnett would say.
Oh, there you go. I love it. Kevin Garnett. I love that, man. Love that.
Which version of Kevin Garnett, though, because this matters how much Brian is going to actually agree with you or not. Is this pre-Boston Kevin Garnett or in Boston?
Oh, I hated that, watching him win that championship against my Lakers, man. Oh, that was painful. I was actually during that finals, I was in Cooperstown umpiring at the event up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Little League World Series?
No.
That's in Williamsport, homeboy.
Oh, well. I heard.
I love it.
Brian, he's got your back. He's got your back.
Oh man, yeah, that was brutal. But it was. I felt good. Honestly, there's certain players that I don't hold. I felt I was pleased for Kevin Garnett. Couldn't get over the hump in Minnesota. He just an extraordinary player. Just one of those things. I was glad for him. It was tough for me last year because it wasn't tough, but I really felt bad for Vlad Guerrero. I think he's a dude. Just plays so hard. I remember watching his dad play, and as much as I'm a Dodgers fan, it was tough. I felt bad for him. I hope he gets one, just not against the Dodgers. But I really do. I like Vlad Guerrero.
He's good. He's good.
I like watching him play baseball. So that being said, Festus at number 10. Coach Montgomery, another one of those guys. He's had some talent down there, but he puts it together, does very well. Festus, they're going to be there in the end, right? Yeah, Mitch?
No, I didn't know if that was a question to me or not. I'm
was.
shaking my head. Yes, Festus. I think the interesting pick is the next one, so I was saving my bullets for the next one.
Oh, you like that Zumwalt East right there, huh?
Well, I'm confused by it just because of where they were at a week ago. I thought they were out, and then they weren't as good, and then they come back and they win a few games. This.
Oh, no, they weren't out. They were just lower.
Well, I know, but I just thought the losses might have been a little interesting and for me, and then they come back and they play well again, and it's like I think I like a Russ Hill coached team, and I think that could be a little bit flip flop there. But when I've watched Festus play a few times that we've called those games, they are prepared. So I think Festus is going to be there in the end, and it's going to be, if they played enough competition through the season to prepare them for the district run.
Schaumburg, Jackson Smith, it's still there. They got guys, Imes, I think it is how you pronounce that, Jackson Imes, right? And the shortstop they have, and his name's escaping me right now. They got plenty of guys. But District 1's going to be pretty good for Class 5. I thought Cape Central looked pretty good when we were down there. Hillsboro's going to be right there. Farmington is starting to pick it up. They're winning some more ball games again. They got off to a little slow start, but Farmington's going to be tough. Cooper Tripp has got that. I like that team. District 1's a tough one. I think it's a very difficult district. It'll be interesting to see that. I got MICDS. They jumped from 4 to 5. I still think I like Coach Kratz. He does a great job with that squad. Have you played them?
We played back in 21, and we were once again we had Ray and Josh on that team, so we were fortunate enough to beat them that time. But I like the way he coached. He's intense. He's and his team takes on his personality, and he's prepared, and he does a great job with them. I know you kind of skimmed over Zumwalt East because
I'm a homer.
Yeah, and I'm a big Russ Coach Hill fan as well. I mean, his daughter and my daughter are on the same high school basketball team, and so I see a lot of them, and we go and play each other every year. And this year they beat us pretty bad. It was one of those losses where I told my team that I got out coached, and I mean Coach Hill kicked my butt in coaching. I told Coach Hill this not too long ago that his team has his personality, and just how the enthusiasm and how they play. It doesn't matter if they're up 10 or down 3 or whatever. They play with the same kind of enthusiasm and stuff, which makes them successful. And year after year, he'll say, "Hey, we're kind of down." Like last year, he tried to tell me, "We're down, Rue," and whatever. Then you go and you're right in the district championship and you lose 1-0, and I'm like, "Oh, are you down?" Like it's just he's one of the best coaches in the area, in my opinion, and he does a great job. So I just wanted to make sure I said that about Zumwalt East. But
There you go.
Coach Kratz does a tremendous job, and I got a lot of respect for him. He's one of the guys that when I go to the baseball clinics and stuff like that, I like talking to because he's just fun to talk to, and he's funny as all get out, and he brings a lot of enthusiasm just to the ballpark.
If East can if their pitching depth can hang in there with the two big arms and up the middle with Travis Hill and Jackson Bingham, those two guys are good together.
Mm-hmm.
And they can make enough plays that way. That team's they got a shot to roll through there.
They do. I mean, they got 3 losses on the year, and if you go and look at their losses, they got a story, and you go and look at this story, gotta tell you, like, hey, this team is for real.
And unless you have Warrington with Martin, you get him on a day where he just says,
That's true.
"Y'all are mine." It's East and St. Dominic there, I think. So again, I think we're going to see that. Union. I didn't think they were going to be back, but they're still playing some good baseball. They got some guys still left.
Yeah.
Chaminade. Hey, here's one to watch, guys. Warrensburg, the Tigers. Warrensburg Tigers. 9-3. Don't sleep on Warrensburg. UCM group. Coach Crook's son's playing on that squad as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
And you got Charlie Morgan, who's going to UCM on that squad. That team is full real.
Okay.
It'll be interesting to see. We got him at 15 right now, so we'll see how it continues to go. Farmington creeps in at 20. So Cape Central's still there. Winnetonka, shout out to Winnetonka, the Griffins, playing some good ball, 7-4. We'll see if they hang in there with it.
Yeah.
I like it. Look at Mitch, he's over there. Who the heck is Winnetonka?
Well, no, I know who it is, but I like that it's a Griffin. that was Missouri Western's mascot.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
It's a little tougher, though.
So that's Class 5. Our top 10 on our Class 3. This is ridiculous. Fair Groves, Blair Oaks, Duchesne, Licking. Ash Grove is number 5, and I got them at they're 13-0, and I got them at 5. That's how crazy insane that is. Scott City is 14-1. Centralia is 9-1. Carrollton 7-2. The Thunderbirds, gotta love that. I might have them in the top 10, not just because of their record, but isn't that a fantastic mascot? Thunderbirds, man.
I mean, yeah, but growing up in Nebraska, our rivals were the Thunderbirds, and so it was the Bellevue West Thunderbirds. We were the Bellevue East Chieftains.
So no Thunderbirds.
I'm cool on the Thunderbirds.
All right.
I'm cool.
Okay. All right.
I mean, but hey, to each their own. But
Lone Jack creeps into the top 10, 9-4. The Lone Jack Mules. Love that, man. Over there on the east side of the state, that's Class 3 there. Fair Grove's defending state champs. They've only lost 1 game. Coming back, doing it again. Blair Oaks doing their thing, 9-2. I think they could easily be number 1, but I give it to Fair Grove because they've only lost 1.
and
Defending state champs. Give it to them.
Where it is.
We'll see what it does. Duchesne right there, 11-3. They're going to be hard to beat, man.
They're tough. We faced them. Once again, the loss has a story for us, but what I was impressed with Coach Hollander with that team that they hit. I mean, it don't matter what you throw up there. They find a way to get a barrel on it and stuff, and they've got some arms. I think we faced a lefty freshman that threw pretty well. And then, Nicodeme is hitting the ball well. And there's some other guys. They got another catcher that's got a laser for an arm. So they're well coached. Coach Hollander is one of those guys. Once again, he's one of the when I go to clinics, he's one of the guys I hang out with and talk to a lot and stuff. So they're going to do great things down in Class 3, and to be honest, when it's all said and done, they'll be right in the mix for another title.
Shout out to Ryan Whitworth, younger brother of Tyler Whitworth.
Okay.
He's swinging the bat, hit some bombs. Watching his kid transferred in from Hazelwood West. Woo. He's a big kid like his brother too. They've got some talent there, and they get Greasy back, this year off the surgery, and so pretty talented group. I think they got a shot they won Class 3, 2 years ago, was it? 2 years ago? And here they are back in Class 3. I think they got a shot to do it again.
Absolutely.
That's gonna be a tough out. All right, guys. That's our rankings there. We got that. We got some helmet stickers we're gonna give out, right, Drew? We got some we're gonna go through our helmet stickers. We missed it last week. I don't know if you were with us, Mitch. We ran long. We were talking with Coach Credo from Troy Buchanan, and you talk about a fun dude to talk to. I really enjoy Coach Credo. Great personality, doing good things there at Troy Buchanan.
Yeah.
And if you catch his podcast, go check out his podcast, man. He's fun to listen to. It's worth it. Worth it. But we're going to start off with, these are our helmet stickers for our high school kids. Games we've seen. We got highlights. Smith Cotton, Cole Norden, RBI double in the bottom of the first. Go ahead and roll that, Drew. That ball is driven into left field and down fair. Norton on his way to second. Coach is sending Kastner, and the throw rolls into third. RBI double to get the Bruins on the board from Norton. Just shot it down the third base line. Go ahead and drop it on him, Drew. Got it. And that was not Smith Cotton, folks. That was Rockbridge. I'm sorry. That was Rockbridge. We also got, that was another extra inning game we were involved in. We've been, it's been crazy. Colin Kao comes off the bench, a sophomore, in a big spot. You could just see he was pumped up, fired up. Tommy hacks one. Go ahead and roll the tape, Drew. Walks it off. Oh, and it's off the glove and into right field, and the winning run is going to score. Jackson couldn't handle the ground ball, and Rockbridge wins it in the bottom of the ninth inning. Oh my goodness. That ball was hammered. Drop it on him, Drew. You like the helmet sticker, don't you? Don't you, Mitch?
I didn't know what these were, so I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know if this was a thing, and then to hear the background noise and everything going on just cracks me up. I love it. Can I say something real quick before you go to the next one? Please. Yeah. Hats off to the shortstop for heading over to the second baseman to pick him up, and then the first baseman to go over there and pick that young man up after that play. He's obviously nobody wants to lose a game that way, but the shortstop immediately ran over there and picked him up and didn't let him continue to kind of, soak in that position. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still upset, but I loved the move by that shortstop. I don't want to take anything away from Rockbridge there, but
no,
that was a solid move by the shortstop. I like to see that.
Absolutely, that was cool. All right, then we were in Springfield. Went all the way down to Springfield to see Seckman. And, dude, Max Jones, the pitcher, having a day. Oh, my gosh. Go ahead and roll it, Drew. Runs only 90 feet away. Fastball. And he can't pick that one. Max Jones on his way, a little bobble, and he's into second base. RBI, double. I'll tell you what, watch Max Jones. He was our player of the game there for that. I think he was, 3 for 4, something like that, Drew. Had a couple of doubles, swinging the bat. I was like, drop it on him. Love giving out the helmet stickers, man. Kind of love that, right?
I would love to one of our guys get the helmet sticker at one point.
Well, you never know. You never can tell. Never can tell. All right.
We might be able to give you one. We're going to see you in the next 2 weeks, right?
Hopefully on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't sure who was going first. Whoever. I just know that I'm going to be there. I finally get to call a game. I haven't been to none. I've been to like one all year to call a game, and I'm super pumped about doing this. And so, you want me to give you I'll give you a pregame speech. Rue, come down there, fire your boys up to get them going to get a helmet sticker.
Yeah, hook us up, dude. That or talk about
either
chilies.
that or a slap.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's our thing. Our boys love some chilies. So if you go and I'm like, hey, no running or whatever, it's whatever. But you say, hey, if we win, we go to Chili's, and all of a sudden, we're turning double plays and looking like a bunch of Derek Jeters on the field and Mariano Rivera's on the mound and stuff. So, just go down there, talk about a helmet sticker, and sprinkle a little Chili's on there.
There you go, man. That's it. Whatever works, Coach.
I'll take it.
There you go.
Carney,
next up, Caleb Fletchall. Again, kind of a game winner. It was the game winner. It was go ahead at that time, but go ahead and roll it. Catcher, dude. 2 stolen bases. Lead run is 90 feet away. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Fletchall. That was a close pitch, too. Big spot here. Fastball. And it's into left field. And a good read. And Holder on his way in and scoring. Fletchall takes second on the throw home. A 2 RBI single with 1 out. Puts the Bulldogs back up by 2, 9-7. Fletchall coming through in the clutch. And if I'm not mistaken, Fletchall's just a sophomore. Big old kid, man, behind the plate. Goodness mercy. Drop it on him, Drew. We've had some cool stuff, man. We have really had some really we got Liberty, and I'm not talking Wentzville, I'm talking Liberty, Missouri. Derek Wilson, 4th and 5th innings. This young man can swing the bat in the middle of that lineup for Liberty. 4th inning double, back into it. 5th inning double. Go ahead and roll it, Drew. That's into the gap and is going to be down and to the wall. So back-to-back doubles by Coppinger, then Wilson.
Another one.
Deep and off, and a ground rule double bounces up over the wall. So another RBI double for Wilson. Liberty looked really good in that game, folks. That's going to be a very tough team to beat. We don't get to see them a lot. KC Suburban Gold, tough conference. Drew, you know what to do. We got one here, Glendale. It was a tough loss for him, but the young man, Walker Ramsdale, go ahead. We got to give it to him.
Save some arms. And that is deep and bounds over a ground rule double. So Shelton leaves one over the middle, and Ransdale deposits it over the with one hop in the fence.
Oh, drop it on him, Drew. Mitch, I was just remarking to Coach Allen about the parks that we're seeing on that side of the state, and he was lamenting a bit.
It's nice. Like I mean, I love our ballpark. I think maintenance does do the best job they can and everything else, but man, not seeing weeds on the field and seeing that, and I'm a little jealous.
Come on, school boards here in St. Charles County. Francis Howell, Fort Zumwalt West, St. Charles. Come on. Help these guys out. Come on. Give them a little love. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm not saying it just because I like my
it's
job.
Not Coach Allen. He's
but
fine. I'm saying it.
I'll say it
Give
for
these
you.
guys a little love. I'll say it for them. Give them a little love. Come on now. All right. Because here's another one. This is a dude. Micah Patterson going to Evansville. 4 for 5, 2 doubles in the third and fourth innings. They couldn't get the guy out. I mean, he scored 4 times. Drew, roll a tape.
And that is down the line and fair. And Patterson with his speed heading to second. He's going to be in standing up. Leadoff double. My goodness.
Another one.
And that ball is driven into left field and off the wall. Coach is going to send Wooster on his way home, and he's going to score. Oh my goodness, Micah Patterson, have a day.
Go ahead, Drew. And yes, folks, he had himself a day. And one of the nicest young men. Just a pleasure to talk to. Really enjoyed my talking with Micah Patterson. Just one of those kids, man. Just one of those kids. Really enjoyed that. Liberty North, Max LeMasters. Drew? Told you we had one.
Stone back out. And a little flare, and it's going to be fair. And LeMaster chugging all the way in. A hustle double for LeMaster.
That was the 9-hole hitter for Liberty. He was 2 for 3 with a walk, getting it done, hitting the double. When you got your 9-hole, he was our player of the game.
I mean, you get your 9-hole action at your second leadoff. That's a recipe for one, a deep lineup, and then just a good team. And if he's doing that and he gets a helmet sticker, I mean, that's great for that young man. And I mean,
Go ahead,
dope.
Drew. Drop it on him. You're killing Mitch, man. All right.
It's funny.
We got a few more for you here, folks. We're going to Rockwood Summit. Wyatt Schneider, go ahead, Drew.
factor until they notice it. And that's line sharp out to left center field. Carrying, gone. Wyatt Schneider's third pump of the year comes early in this one. First inning home run for the starting pitcher. Help yourself, kid. Wyatt Schneider starts off the scoring. I mean,
our crack engineer, he was talking about that earlier. Said he just went up and comes and told you.
Oh, dude, that was appreciate Coach Allen had to jump out. We're almost done here. We're going to do a couple more, Mitch. Marquette, Caden Throneberry matched it. Go ahead and roll it.
Throneberry puts a charge into this one. Deep right center field. That'll carry over the wall and gone. Marquette responds with a homer of their own a couple innings later. Caden Throneberry, a solo shot off Wyatt Schneider. That was mashed. My God. That's 2 home.
Well, but we talked about, I mean, look where the wind's blowing. You get that ball up in that. Not that this guy
Can't. He's got some.
but that ball was mashed.
hit
Both of them were hit one.
Helmet stickers. Boom.
Oh, there we go. 2 helmet stickers.
I tell you, Mitch, I love this part of it, watching these, getting to see these highlights. That's 2 dudes right there, Mitch. Snyder
2
and
dudes.
Throneberry.
And so I could watch Patterson swing all day. That kid can wait. I can watch these 2 swing all day, but can I give my own helmet sticker, please, to the young man that's calling the game with you? Can we give that guy a helmet sticker? Drew, hit him with the helmet sticker, please. I don't know if yes. Dude, he hit me. He goes, that's his 3rd pump of the year. And I was like, okay, that's a kid on the microphone. That dude is destined as a sports SID or sports information director, SID at some college, or he is going to be calling games professionally. I don't know who that young man is. And Brian, that kid is pretty good at his job or whatever he was doing.
Mason Molitor working with us as an intern this year. You're going to get to work with him Wednesday if everything works out. Looks like he'll be coming calling some games. He's going to work some of the GAC Classic with us. So you're going to get that privilege. There you go.
I am going to learn is what I'm going to do.
He did a fantastic job on that call, Mitch. He really did. So I love that you did that. There you go, Mason. In fact, he just had texted me and said, yeah, we're good. We're ready to go. Pumped up.
Yeah, literally pumped. 3rd pump of the year, baby. 1, 2, 3.
Platte County, we got some more bombs for you here. Andrew Edsall, roll it.
Curveball. Deep left field, going, and it is out of here. As Edsall finally breaks through for the Pirates. A 2-out solo bomb that gets him on the board. It's 4-1 now. He got all of that one, folks.
Drop it. You gotta love all these tanks, right, Mitch?
Man, I don't know if you can hear my end. I don't know if I'm muted or not, but he hung that curveball. I go, oh, you hung it. You hang it, you bang it. He hit that baseball, and like he didn't even hustle out of the box. It was no doubt gone.
He got all of it,
He's
man.
hit him before that. Good boy.
Yeah, he knew it. He knew it. It was done. We got a couple of pitchers left here, though, to finish on. Marquette's Colden Richards. Young man with complete game, 3 hits, 1 run, win. Go ahead, Drew. Roll this.
In that gauntlet.
Oh, yeah. And then they have Zumwalt West and Seckman. As that'll end the game with a ground out to the shortstop. A complete game for Colden Richards. I mean, a stunner here as they split the series 1-1 in conference play. Summit falls to the Marquette Mustangs 6-1. Outstanding game.
Our players of the game, Colden Richards for the Marquette Mustangs and Wyatt Schneider for the Summit Falcons. Folks, we appreciate you joining us here. And I want to give a shout out to my partner here, did a fantastic job. First time with us, Mason Molitor from Liberty High School. Young man, nice job today.
Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure. It's been awesome.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Dude, you throw a complete game against Summit and 1 run, 3 hits. He only gave up scattered 3 hits across that. Drew, you know what to do. Last one of the evening, folks. Now, this is my favorite because I was calling him this through the game. It was great because Coach Josenberger, that's the first thing he called him. He says, I said, hey, we're doing the pregame interviews, and I said, Coach, can we get your picture? And he goes, hey, where's Sleepy? And I went, what? Yeah, that's what we call him, Sleepy. And when you see him, you understand why. Nicest kid, Aiden Sleepy Boyer. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 run, got the win, 5 Ks. Go ahead and roll it, Drew.
And a little one off the bat, up with it is Hernandez for out number 3. So a single, stranded, we head to the top of the 6th, 4-1 Falcons.
He did a fantastic job. 5 innings through that to get through that. He had a little trouble. He got 2 outs in the 6th and an error and then a walk, and Coach said, well, that's it. But you understand, 5 2/3 actually is what he did. And how do you not love Sleepy for a pitcher, right?
I love it.
A
But
lefty.
He better
A
throw
lefty.
slow.
He's a lefty with
Right.
a sweeper, dude. Yes.
Summer.
Just
It would have been better if it was Summer, but we'll take Sleepy.
absolutely. Go ahead and drop it on him, Drew. Oh man, Mitch, your final thoughts. We're gonna get you out of here. I appreciate you jumping on, buddy. It's been looking real spooky with all the dark. It's ooh.
It goes with the helmet sticker.
You gotta love it.
It's perfect for that. Final thoughts. Duchenne is back. I thought early on that, we saw a couple losses early and maybe not some great pitching early on, but we know that that's, whatever, chalk it up. Having TJ back is going to be big. But huge shout out personally to Mason. Is Mason a high school kid still?
Yep, he's a Liberty High School.
Okay, so I might have coached. Did he play baseball?
Yes, he did. Mason Molitor.
Okay, so I know who it is then. I'm pretty sure. So I'm excited to work with him.
He's a pitcher
and kind of connect. Yeah, well, he didn't. I had him at like 13U, 14U, something like that. He might have been a little bit younger, but anyways, I just, that's my final thoughts. I think everybody is kind of where they should be. I'm the Howell Ford Zumwalt West connection that we had here, the kind of the preseason to where they're at now. They played a lot of games early, so I'm interested to see how they navigate through the heart of the season, which is conference play. And I'm excited to see if we can have another repeat of a sweep in the GACs. We
know,
didn't
right?
talk about that. Well, we did talk about it, but you had to be a member to hear that one, I guess. But I'm excited to see and be at the ballpark with you guys on Wednesday. So that's my
man.
takeaway.
Sweet. We're looking forward to it. Hopefully the weather works out with us and we can get this one in. Mitch, always a pleasure, my friend.
Peace out, guys.
Folks, thanks for tuning in to the Press Box here tonight. As always, we appreciate your support of Youth Baseball Midwest. Have a great day in the Lord, always. And you know what, folks? We will see you at the ballpark.